Your website is your most important marketing asset, but it's also your leakiest bucket. Every single day, high intent prospects visit your site, have a question, do not get an answer, and leave forever. You'll never know who they were. What if your website could do more than just sit there? What if it had an employee, an AI sales agent working 24/7 to engage those visitors and turn their questions directly into booked meetings on your calendar? Today, we're not just building a chatbot, we're building an autonomous appointment setting machine. We're going to build an AI assistant that does the work of a sales development rep, capturing and converting leads right on your website. I'm Adnan, the founder of Kaiser AI. At our firm, we focus on outcomes, not just workflows. On this channel, I'm taking you behind the scenes and showing you the exact strategies and builds we use to help SMBs cut costs, save time, and drive profit. So let's architect your AI advantage. Let's talk about this leaky funnel because every business has one. The hard truth is that 98% of your website visitors are completely anonymous. They come, they look, and they leave. They have questions, but there's no one there to answer them in the moment. And that static contact us form to a modern buyer that feels like a black hole. They have no idea if or when they'll get a response. The result is always the same. Your highest intent leads, the ones who are actively researching a solution, leave your site and go straight to your competitor. To fix this, you have to fundamentally change the role of your website. You must upgrade it from a static page to an active agent. The old way is thinking of your website as a passive digital brochure. It just sits there and waits for the user to do all the work, to find the right page, to fill out the form, to follow up. The new way is to architect your website as an active sales agent, a system that proactively engages users, answers their questions with intelligence, and takes decisive action to move them to the next step. And that active agent is what we are building today. We're building a true AI agent for your website. And let me be clear about the distinction. This is not just a simple chatbot that parrots back a few pre-written answers. This is a booking machine. It has a clear primary goal to answer questions, identify buyer intent, and schedule a qualified meeting directly in your calendar, all within a single conversation. So how does this agent's brain actually work? It operates on a simple but incredibly powerful three-part logic. First, its baseline function is to inform. The agent uses a custom knowledge base, your company's information, to answer a user's questions accurately and helpfully. But while it's informing, it's also listening. It's in qualify mode, constantly scanning the conversation for buying signals. Questions about pricing, requests to talk about a specific project, or even just, can I talk to a human? This is its trigger. Once that trigger is hit, it immediately switches to its final protocol, book. It uses its tools to check your actual calendar for open slots. It proposes specific times to the user, and once they agree, it creates the event and sends the invite. Inform, qualify, book. Okay, currently we're inside N8N and we can start our build. At first, I'm going to add a basic chat trigger node. And I'm going to select make chat publicly available. After that, we'll get a live production webhook URL, which we'll use later on. And we do not need to change anything here, but at first, let me quickly show you the website we'll be working on. So this is the demo website that I built for this video. So the name of the company is Momentum Media. They are basically a video production company. And this is their landing page / homepage. If you scroll down, their core services, video production services, podcasting services, and lots of other details about their work. If I move myself right here, our chat widget will be right here. So we'll set that up in a moment, guys. And just imagine yourself in the shoe of a visitor. When you visit this website and let's say you have a quick question, there's no one to answer. So you have a generic contact us form that you have to fill out, or like you have to click and everything. So it's not very intuitive and natural, right? So how about natural conversation when you can converse with someone and book the meeting right in the conversation, or you can get your answers to any questions that you have regarding the company. So that's exactly what we are going to build today. So let's head over to our N8N canvas again. So there goes our chat trigger. We'll add the widget in the website later on, but at first let's build the workflow from scratch. After that, we are going to add an AI agent node. We can get it from here, or you can just type in AI agent. Source for prompt will be connected chat trigger node. That's okay. And click here, add option. We are going to add a system prompt. So delete whatever was here. I'm going to click on expression, pop out the window. Now I have already prepared a prompt beforehand. Let me just quickly copy and paste that, and I'm going to explain what we are doing here. Copied, pasted. Alright. At first we defined its identity and assigned a role. You are Momentum Bot, an expert marketing strategist and friendly assistant for Momentum Media. So the current date is, this is N8N's variable for getting the current time, and we operate in Bangladeshi Standard Time Zone. Assume visitors are in the same time zone. So if you are working from another time zone, you just change that here. You have two primary goals in this order. At first, inform and educate. Your first job is to answer user questions accurately based only on the information in the knowledge base below. So it should not hallucinate. There are no scopes for hallucination or making things up, right? So we can provided knowledge base here in this section. We are going to read that in a second. And secondly, its primary one of its primary goals is to convert and book. Your most important job is to identify buying signals. If a user asks for pricing, wants to discuss a project, or expresses clear interest in speaking with someone, for example, can I talk to a person? So you must smoothly transition from informing them to booking a meeting. So do not be pushy, but ready to act. Basic sales tactics. Okay. There are some core directives here. So initially, when I build the workflow and the agent, there are many hallucinations, so I had to do a lot of trial and errors, and finally I came up with this very optimized prompt. So you can download the JSON file right away with my download link, so you don't have to build the whole thing from scratch. You just replace the company information, your operating time zone, and voila, everything will work. Alright, let's get back to it. Trust your tools, be direct and simple. That's okay. Booking protocol, identify the date, analyze the result and respond, check the calendar. So we are going to give it dedicated hands and legs, or we call it tools in N8N, to actually perform the work, and finally create the event and confirm. But before that, it will ask for the visitor's name and email address. Then we got knowledge base, the company overview. As I showed you in the website, Momentum Media is a specialized B2B marketing agency that creates strategic content like videos and podcasts. And we have another section here, pricing. We do not have fixed prices. All projects are custom quoted based on scope. So do not provide any price estimates. So we're going to test that after I build the whole thing. So I'm going to push it for a pricing structure, and let's see if it responds anything or it follows the prompt properly. There goes our system prompt. That's okay. Now we are going to add a brain to our AI agent. So in this case, it's a LLM. We are going to go with OpenAI chat model, and I'm going to select GPT-4o mini. However, there are much better models out here right now. 4.1 GPT-4. You can of course use the latest versions, GPT-5, 5 mini, 5 nano, There are multitude of options here to choose from, but I'm going to go with GPT-4 mini for this demo video. After adding the brain, now we need to add some kind of memory so that it remembers who you are and it remembers the context of the conversation. So we can work simply with inheritance built in simple memory, but I'm going to create a new video soon on RAG agents where I show how to actually utilize the Postgres chat memory here and other stuffs. Yeah, for example, if you want to use a vector storage, you can do that, but we are going to go with simple memory here for now. Context window length, let's make it 10. That's all right. Now we have to configure some tools. Click here. I'm going to search Google Calendar tool. That's okay. And the first tool will use it, the agent will use it to get many. So it will search the calendar for the current event so that the new time doesn't clash with the old ones. Operation get many resource event, that's okay. Now from the calendar drop down, of course at first you have to add your Google Calendar account here, and I'm going to click my Gmail, return all, limit 50, that's okay. And now we have to configure the after and before section, so the exact time range the agent should search the calendar. We will get that from, I've already prepared the exact placeholder that you just need to copy and paste. So there goes the after, and there goes the before. Let's copy it. Guys, don't worry if it is showing undefined right now, but because it will get the data from AI, as you can see. So our AI agent will send the data, so it will be automatically filled. Then we use some look, sound, date, time formats here, so that should work. After, before, let's make the limit 10 for now, just to keep it simple. And after that, in the add options, I'm going to select the time zone. This is very important, guys, to avoid any hallucinations or incorrect timings. From the time zone, I'm going to search for Dhaka, which is the city I live in. Dhaka, Bangladesh. So in this case, Asia, Dhaka, which is actually GMT +6. And since we mentioned in the main agent prompt that we are operating in Bangladeshi standard time, so we have to configure that here as well. So I have selected Asia, Dhaka. Done. After the agent checks the calendar with this tool, what if it needs to create an event? So we are going to give it another hand to work. I'm going to search for Google Calendar again, and this time the operation will be create. That's okay. Calendar, the same calendar. Now the start and end time, I'm going to select let the model define this parameter, so the agent will intelligently fill out these fields. Okay. Start, end, use the default reminders, and we are going to add some sections here, additional fields. So I'll click on add field. At first I'm going to add a field for attendees. I'm going to select let the model define this parameter. I'm going to click add a description, the email of the attendee. I'm going to add another attendee here, and this will be actually me. So can I copy that? Copy.
Okay, so there goes our two attendees, and the first attendee will be the visitor who is booking the call. So it provided a little description so that the agent can understand how to fill out the sections. And then we got the second entity, which is me. Then I'm going to add another field, which will be the summary, or in this case title of the event. So I'm going to select let the model define this parameter as well, and we're going to add another description here. So name the event like this. So we provided a little instruction for the AI agent. It should name the event in this format, discovery call with attendee name. So it will get the attendee name. If you remember, we prompted it to ask for the name and email address for the visitor. So it will fill that here. Our work is almost done, and let me save it quickly. Now we need to add the chat widget to our actual web page. Let me move myself here again, and so I have hosted my website in a platform called Netlify. So whether you are using another CMS like WordPress or Wix or other things, you have to find the related settings, but the basic will be the same. Okay, so what we are going to do, if we head over to N8N again, I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click on docs. So let's actually read the documentation of how you can actually add the chat widget to your website. So this is the documentation for the chat trigger node. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to select this option here. So we are going with the embedded chat. This option requires you to create your own chat interface that we're going to do. You can use N8N's chat widget or build your own. Your chat interface must call the webhook URL shown in the chat URL in the node. So it's talking about this URL here. Okay, I'm going to click it in this link. Okay, so this is the official documentation of how you can actually modify the chat widget to your liking, and you can get the code. Scroll down. So in the installation section, and CD and embed content delivery network. So this is your code. You are going to just copy it and paste it. I'll show you where you will paste that. So this is your HTML snippet that will inject in the actual web page. And if you scroll down a little bit, so you can get the default options, right? So for example, what should be the initial message, what should be the title, subtitle, currently set to these things. We are not going to touch that, but when you are actually building the chat widget for your website, you should follow your brand guidelines, and it should follow your brand. Get started, new conversation, input placeholder, type your question. Cool. So I'm just going to go with I'll just change the initial message to something I like, but this should be your main code. Okay, so let me show you how we can add that. So currently I am in my Netlify project settings. I have already hosted the website. I'm going to select project configuration. I'm going to scroll down, select post processing, and right here you can see a section labeled snippet injection. So it will inject analytics or other scripts into the HTML of your project. For example, if you are familiar with Google tracking scripts for using Google Analytics or other stuff like that, you can add that too. I'm going to click this button here, add snippet. Let's name this script something like N8N chat widget, and I'm going to paste in my snippet here. So you can see you have to change this section because it was from old build of mine. And then again we have the initial message: hi there, I'm Momentum Bot, how can I assist you today? So I change it. So let's head over to N8N and click here to copy that webhook URL. Oops, so many. I'm going to paste that here. Is that a space? No. Sometimes these things are very confusing. Okay, so there goes our webhook URL. So it will call the actual N8N workflow through this link, and there we got the initial message, everything is okay. So let's click on save. Done. Now let's go to our actual page. So the widget should be here, so let's reload the link. See, after reloading we have the chat widget. Now all that's left to do is to test our workflow and see how the agent is performing. But before that we have one more thing to do. If we head over to our N8N canvas, I'm going to click on save, and you have to activate the workflow at first. Got it. If you don't activate the workflow, if you click here, you cannot send any inputs of yourself. See? So since we have already activated the workflow, I'm going to refresh the page. Now you can actually type your question here. As you can see, everything is customizable here. Hi there, start a chat, even the placeholder text here, the initial message, everything. So let's test our AI agent and see how it performs. So let's type in our question. So I asked it a very simple question. Hi, I was interested in your company. What do you guys actually do? So it should answer this question from its knowledge base, so it shouldn't make up anything. Let's see how it answers. Cool. Momentum Media is a specialized B2B marketing agency, and it accessed its knowledge base. Our approach, and if you're interested in discussing a potential project or learning more about our services, feel free to ask. So at first I'm going to push it for a pricing structure, and let's see if it endures the test. I asked it, cool, what are your pricing structure for projects? We don't have fixed prices for our projects, as all of them are custom quoted based on the specific scope and requirements. This allows us to tailor our services to meet the unique needs of each client. If you are interested in exploring a project, I can help you set up a meeting to discuss your needs in detail. Would you like to schedule a time to chat? So it passed the test. Cool. Sure. Are you free tomorrow? Tomorrow, August 31, 2025 is completely open for us to meet. Here are a few time slots I can offer. So it provided us with 3 time slots. Please let me know which time works best for you. Also, could you provide your name and email address for the meeting invite? Sure. Let's have a chat on I forgot what should be the correct preposition, guys, help me out. And my name is Neo. Email neo@matrix.com. So if you know who Neo is, drop a comment below. Done. Your meeting is scheduled for 1 p.m. tomorrow. You can join the meeting using the following link. So this is the event link. If you have any questions or need to discuss anything in advance, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to a chat. Cool. So one thing to mention, it actually checked my calendar and there were no events on August 31. So if we had booked meeting call, let's say in 1 p.m, so it would say I currently have a booked meeting in this time slot, so it's not available. So there are your other options, so it can do that as well. Now let's head over to my calendar and let's see how it has worked out. So currently it's 13th of August, sorry, 30th of August, so it's 31st. So here is our meeting, discovery call with Neo, 2 guests waiting 30 minutes before, and you can see the email of the attendee here and the name as well. So yeah, that's how it goes. So our AI agent can actually handle questions from the knowledge base. It can search for available slots in your calendar, and it can also book a meeting automatically inside one chat interface. How cool is that?
And there you have it, a 24/7 employee on your website whose only job is to be helpful and book meetings. This is what we mean by architecting an advantage. You have just built a system that ensures you never miss a lead, no matter when they visit your site. You are capturing opportunities your competitors are letting slip through their fingers every single night. If you are ready to build powerful automations like this, the very first step is to know where to start. That's why I created the AI Advantage Kit. It's a free toolkit with playbooks and an audit designed to help you find the highest impact automation opportunities in your business. The link is right at top of the description below. Now I want to hear from you. What's the one question you wish a chatbot could answer perfectly for your website visitors? Let me know in the comments. I read them all. And if you found this helpful, you know what to do. Smash that like button. And if you want more AI builds and strategies that drive real business value, hit subscribe and the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.